Hello, this is Daryl at 10 Foot Truck Good Attitude Services. I'm going to try this video again. It might cut out my memory on my phone. I've been using the phone a lot, so I don't have a lot of memory on it. So I clean it out and whatever I have to do to get more memory on here. I'm going to try to cut it really short with this video. Yesterday, I went and did a job, talked about in the last video, which got cut out. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because the customer had rented a truck, and she also had given me the picture and dimensions and the measurements of the item that we're going to pick up, furniture item. So I looked at that, and then I realized that the height, she was going to get a 10-foot truck, and right away I realized that, because these do have limits on height. This is about a 70, when you get to this top here, it's not to the full top, but here about 73.5 inches, I think. And the width, that was another story, but that height right there concerned me, because the item, I was hoping to stand the item up in the truck, and but the item was 87 inches at least. That's what I thought. I didn't know the base was also removable. That wasn't indicated. So right there I made a decision that it's not going to be able to be stood up in the truck. It won't be able to stand up in the truck. And if you lay the item down, let me see if I can get this. See that right between the wheel wells right there? It's only 53. Now, of course, there's more room on there, but the wheel well, oops, upside down. Because I didn't want to stand it on, lay it flat on the wheel well, because it would be rocking back and forth, because the wheel well only goes there to there. So it would be over the top of the wheel well, but it would be rocking here and unstable. I wanted it to be stable on the flat if you're going to transport it that far. So I told her maybe we should, switch the truck to something larger. So we did get the 15-foot truck, which is a lot wider, doesn't have the wheel wells, and in heights, and it's taller. So when we got to the customer's house, it was an extremely heavy item. So it was much heavier than I thought it was. So I decided to, instead of standing it up and tying it to the wall, I preferred to have it laid flat. But since the floor had the width, didn't have the wheel wells, I was able to put that item flat on the floor with some blankets. It transported fine, got it into the house, worked out good. But the point is, having as much detail as you can of the item before you pick it up, which was good that they'd sent me they'd sent her the dimensions and the measurements, so that we could make that call when I was renting the truck. Now, if I'd have brought this truck, it would have been a challenge. Of course, my truck's not working right now, but if I would have brought the 10-foot, it would have been a challenge because of the way the width is. So knowing that in advance, then you can either get a bigger truck, like in that case, we were able to get the 15-foot truck, and it's going to work. And she has a truck for tomorrow. We're going to be doing a dump run tomorrow. She needs to take some stuff to the trash, to the transfer station. So I have a big enough truck to do that, and so that'll be good. But just wanted to do a video on that, because that could have been a challenge if I wouldn't have had the measurements of the item. So that's one thing to remember if you're doing pickup delivery of furniture or anything. That happens too with this truck. When I was using this truck here, certain refrigerators wouldn't stand up in here because of the way the door is. The door comes down here, the roll-up door, and then it's hard to. The entrance to the door is too low to angle it in, because you really want a refrigerator standing up. But other furniture items too, like that, where they have the width is bigger and higher and taller, and having these wheel wells. I've had to deal with these wheel wells in this truck before, so it was in my mind about it. So when you know all that, then you can make a better decision of what truck you're going to need, and if you're going to rent it, or if you're using your truck and you happen to have one of these 10-footers smaller, then it might be a problem. You might want to figure out either rent a bigger truck or know that what you're dealing with, because I could have probably figured a way to get it in here, but it just didn't make sense to have this smaller truck. It's just been much more of a challenge and you don't want anything to get damaged when you're transporting really expensive furniture. It's like, so that's what this video is about, and so I'm going to be going and finishing the job tomorrow. I'm happy to work with this customer. I've worked with her for many years, or a couple of years, off and on, doing different projects and helping her move stuff. So I'm glad that she was able to rent the truck while I'm trying to fix this truck to get it back on the road. And it worked out because we would have had to rent a bigger truck anyway. So in the long run, it was better that way than having to bring this thing out there. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm looking forward to working tomorrow, and I may be having another customer off that job. She's going to refer me for a moving job. So in that case, I'll also have to have a rental truck. From now on, I'm going to be trying to get rental trucks for these jobs until I can get this thing back on the road. What else I have? I think that's about it. I just wanted to let people know that that's something I've dealt with in the past, and I've been doing this so many years that I know that you have to have those measurements and just have that in your mind when you're doing these type of jobs. You don't want to show up the job and go, well, it's not going to fit. That's happened to me before. So by mistakes of things that I did in the past with this truck, I learned what my limitations are with this truck. And so that would have been a limitation. But also I know that the full-size refrigerators, the taller ones, they're not good to fit in here because you want those standing up. So those things, and there's other things. Since I don't have a ramp, I won't do certain items. So I would end up having to rent like a 15-foot truck which has the ramps. That's another thing about these 10-foot trucks. The U-Hauls, at least the ones that I've seen, the one I use, you'd have to buy your own separate ramp, and I think I don't know where you'd put the ramp, but they don't have ramps. So if it's something that you need a ramp, if it's something that's really heavy, like a safe or something where you have to roll in and so you can't pick it up into the truck, then you would need a ramp or a lift gate. So that's another limitation. A lot of people have called for those type of jobs. I say, I don't have a lift gate, I don't have a ramp. So those are limitations too. So know that in advance if this is the kind of truck you're using, and you can always rent a bigger truck, and you can always rent one with a ramp if you need to. And that's what happened with me, and it worked out. So that's about it. Just want to do that video. And my last video I did, I think a lot of you got cut out because the phone memory shut off. I'm surprised I'm still able to talk right now. I thought the phone would run out of my video memory or whatever that's called, but it's going. So I think it's going to be a short video since I don't want it to cut out. This is Daryl at 10-Foot Truck Good Attitude Services. I'm still out here. I know a lot of my videos lately have been just music and AI music, but I've been just doing a lot of that and experimenting with that. So I wanted to come back out here and show some videos with my other talking about my moving and junk removal services, which I'm still doing. Just haven't done much videos about it, and especially since my truck is having an issue. But that'll be done soon, and because the season's coming around for work, when it gets busy. It's February, so we got a month before spring, and then after that it starts picking up again. So I hope you guys are all doing great out there, and being prosperous and enjoying your work. Have a great week. Is it the weekend? Yeah. Have a great weekend. It's Daryl 10-Foot Truck signing out.